Thought for the day. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina Aina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being.
In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we discuss how to feel more confident during public speaking by implementing these practical tips. Have a listen.
There are two main inroads to your public speaking anxiety. And the first is changing your mindset. The second is changing your behavior or the concrete actions that you take. You can start at either entry point in this feedback loop because your mindset and your behavior reinforce each other. In this video, I'll be giving you 6 tips all about mindset or how you think. If you can change the way you think about public speaking, you'll change the way you feel. First, realize that anxiety and nervousness are not signs of trouble. These are just signs that you're about to do something important. We don't get nervous about meaningless activities. Even professionals get nervous. I was reading an interview with the world famous and veteran actor Michael Douglas, and he said, "I'm always nervous when I have to do public speaking, and I have now gotten used to my nerves and how to deal with it, but it's part of the excitement." So even rich, famous, and normally confident people get nervous about public speaking. It's not a sign of trouble or that there's something wrong with you. Second, realize that you're only about half as nervous as you think. The other half is called excitement. They are two sides of the same emotional coin. I heard a consultant the other day say that she has grown to like the butterflies in her stomach before she presents. She said it reminds her that she's challenging herself. It's the same with acting, playing guitar, or sports in front of a crowd. A lot of those feelings are excitement. After people speak and the anxiety is gone, they still feel excited about what they just did. So the mindset tip is not to talk to yourself about how nervous you are. Instead, talk to yourself about how at least half of what you're feeling is excitement. Those butterflies are proof that you're alive and about to do something special. Number 3, realize that you do not look on the outside as nervous as you feel on the inside. Your listeners can't tell how you feel. They can only see what you show them. And I've asked hundreds of speakers right after they speak, how nervous did you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? They usually say 8, 9, or 10. But the listeners routinely say that the speaker only looked about 2 or 3 out of 10 on that anxiety scale. So once you realize that you don't come across nearly as nervous as you feel, that's half the battle. I saw Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, talking about giving a big speech. Before he spoke, he said his heart was pounding. He was really nervous. His adult daughter was with him, and she looked out at the huge crowd and she said to him, "Dad, I don't know how you can be so calm. I'd be freaking out." So he was nervous. But he said to her, no, it's going to be fine. I've got this. His own daughter couldn't tell that he was having that spike of anxiety right before he spoke. The takeaway is to play it cool like Rocky. Other people really can't tell, and that's one less thing for you to worry about. And fourth, the peak or spike of nervousness lasts less than 60 seconds. The hardest part is usually the anticipation, the waiting. A teacher I know, Andrew Newman, talks about that spike of nervousness that happens right before we speak and right up until about 30 seconds into our message. That's when we feel the most intense anxiety. That spike of nerves goes down drastically once we get rolling. It's just like a professional football quarterback. Their anxiety is highest right before the big game and up through the first few plays. And then they settle into their game plan. So the mindset tip is to remind yourself that you'll feel much better just moments after you start your presentation. Number 5, accept that anxiety and nervousness are not a barrier from doing an outstanding job. Many speakers mistakenly believe that if they're nervous, then they can't do a good job. But it's just not true. Almost every athlete, for example, will admit to getting nervous before a big game. Anxiety doesn't stop them from performing well. Winning or losing games has nothing to do with how nervous a team is beforehand. And the same goes for public speaking. Some of the best professional speakers in the world admit to getting really nervous, but their nerves don't stop them from completely crushing it. So accept that anxiety is not a barrier to doing a superior presentation. Number 6, assume that everybody is rooting for you. Virtually everybody wants you to do well. We drastically overestimate the negative judgment or possible embarrassment we could experience. The truth is, I'd say that 99% of listeners are sympathetic. They've all done some public speaking. They know what it's like. And I say 99% because sometimes you will see people with an unpleasant facial expression, but even those people are probably just like that. That negative face that you see, maybe that's just the way they are. That's not about you. They're probably just having a bad day. So assume that everybody wants you to succeed and they are on your side.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.